Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Wellcast. I'm Howard Jacobson. I am the Chief of Behavioral Science at WellStart Health, which you can check out at wellstarthealth.com. And if you want to see what we're up to and join an upcoming program, wellstarthealth.com/program. I'm also co-author of Sick to Fit with Josh Lajani and host of the Plant Yourself podcast. Today, I want to talk about screw-ups. I am no stranger to screw-ups. I could write books about screwing up. And this is something that when people start with WellStart and they hear, kind of laid out all in one place, like here is the optimal dietary pattern that you're moving towards, and here's the movement protocols that you want to be pushing up against and consistently challenging yourself with. Here are some ideas about getting a good night's sleep. Here are some techniques for stress management, all this stuff. And people pretty quickly get an idea in their heads. They're like, okay, so this is what I'm going for. And especially around the food, people make mistakes. And they very often feel terrible about their mistakes because, they've paid money to be in this program. They've put a lot of effort into it. And we all bring like failure baggage with us, like this nagging, like buzzing, insect buzz in the back of our heads. Like, you know what, you screwed up so many times in the past. How is this possibly going to be different? Okay, so you meet Josh and you maybe see a video of him on the Today Show, or you watch Code Blue and you see our Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Sarai Stancic, and her amazing journey of overcoming multiple sclerosis, of going from being on a cane, 2 canes, to running marathons and being symptom and med-free for almost 2 decades. And so you're like, oh, all pumped up. Like, yeah, this is the one. But guess what? You were pumped up the last 3 times. You read the diet book or you saw the diet doctor on Dr. Oz and you're like, yeah, this makes sense. This is the one. And it wasn't, and you didn't. And so the first screw up, the first failure, the first time you're like, oh, I'm going away for the weekend, going to be with family. Family can be stressful. People are saying unkind things to me. They don't mean to be unkind, but it's always hurt me, and I've never defended myself against it. And so it just keeps coming up. And I'm going to eat a bunch of crap because I just feel the stress, and it's like a breaking point. And then you look at, all right, here I am back in my old life. And here is my new program and the people that I've met and the people that I've been communicating with in the forum and in the live group calls, and my coaches that I've been texting with, and I've let them all down. And I feel like such a failure. And it feels so familiar. Doesn't it? It feels so familiar, that screw up. And people think this is the end of the road. And so kind of we send out the virtual digital ambulance to pick them up. Like, okay, it's okay. And we show them like, okay, time to do the fast assessment, time to turn a bad day into good data. But we're late, right? We're always arriving late because we only find out about it when someone posts about it. And there's usually a pretty significant lag. Like people typically write on Tuesday or Wednesday, last weekend was a mess, or last weekend was a total screw up. And they're 2, 3, 4 days gone by the time they bring it to us. So we can reorient them, get them back on track. And what I want to say is this: the severity of your screw-ups is not correlated with your success on the journey. The frequency of your screw-ups is loosely, but not significantly, not tightly correlated with your success on the journey. The thing that is correlated with your success on the journey is turnaround time. is how quickly you get back up. And I don't just mean, I mean two things. I mean three things, I think, by get back up. So the first thing is you've been knocked down and you feel like you've knocked yourself down. So there's an immediate torrent of negative self-talk. I don't think that's a bad thing insofar as it wakes you up. And so you stop being unconscious. Like that torrent, oh my God, I feel so terrible, I feel so guilty. To me, that's the equivalent of you touch the hot stove and you feel pain. If you touch the hot stove and you put your hand on it and you feel no pain, you're going to keep it there. And you're going to start smelling sizzling flesh. And you're going to be damaged by the time you remove it. Whereas the pain, oh, you move it right away. So you screw up and the instantaneous pain of, oh my God, I did that. Oh, is fine. Because but its purpose is to pull your hand away from the hot stove, is to stop doing the thing that's hurting you. So one thing people do, their turnaround time is real slow, is they'll keep their hand on the stove. Oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I'm so ashamed of myself. I feel so bad. I let Howie down. I let Josh down. I let Sarah down. I let Kevin down. I let Ron down. I let the other people in the group down. I let my ancestors down. I let my kids down. I let the world down. Meanwhile, you smell that? That's burning flesh. Right? So one turnaround that we want to make quickly is to get out of that self-flagellation, that shame and guilt talk. The second turnaround, I said there were three, right? The second, I should take notes. By the way, can anybody hear this? Be cool if I know that you can hear my mic. I've just released two podcasts in which the published version the first one didn't include my voice and the second one didn't include my guest's voice. So I'm getting paranoid about audio. So if you can hear this, just type a yes. That'd be awesome. Thanks. So the second turnaround is to stop doing the thing. So if you're in the middle of a weekend and you had a screw up, and you went out to dinner and there was all this tension and you ended up drowning it in some alcohol and then a basket of wings. So you can continue that the next day. Oh, what the hell? And you have, the sugar frosted cereal in the morning with a big bowl of milk. You can go out to lunch the next day and you're like, oh, well, I'm just wallowing in it and feeling worse and worse because I'm maintaining it. Or you could say after that night of liquor and wings, I'm done. I'm going to turn it around and continue on the path that I know I should continue on. And that's a much better turnaround. You can also do a turnaround in the middle of the meal and stop. Like even if there's like one bite of wing left, you can say, oh, done. Woohoo. All right, thank you, Lynn and Elizabeth. My audio angels let me know that I'm audible. Fantastic. So wherever you are, you can stop in the middle and be done. Mid-swig, oh, I'm done. Judd Brewer, who wrote The Craving Mind, who's a guest on Plant Yourself a year and a half ago maybe, he's going to come back. He's going to be back on the show to talk about these apps that he's been developing with clinical data on how well they can help people reverse cravings and addictions, stuff like that. He points out that the secret is we get the stimulus to, let's say, drink alcohol, and between the stimulus leads to a desire to do it. And so when we're starting out, we could just do it, and then at the very end, we go, oh, I shouldn't have done that, and we keep practicing. And the next time we're drinking it, oh, I'm almost done with it. Oh, I forgot. I'm going to put it down. Or then mid-glass. Or then when the waiter comes and pours your glass of wine, and then you're holding the full glass of wine, and you go, oh yeah, I don't do this. Here, you have it. Pour it into the potted plant in the middle. And then the waiter comes and you say, oh yes, I'd like to. Oh, no thanks. Or you walk into the restaurant knowing that you're not going to have the wine and you have a move. So when the waiter comes around with the wine list, say, hey, can I have club soda with lime. Be proactive. And so every time we get better at it, we make the turnaround time shorter until there really is no turnaround time. And I'm thinking, like, here's a great metaphor for this is like when your GPS tells you you've missed a turn, you're now going in the wrong direction. So you can turn around right there and, like now the ETA is 1 minute later, or you can keep going in the wrong direction. You can keep going in the wrong direction as long as you want. But every second you go in the wrong direction, you're losing out. You're losing time. And of course, behavior change isn't like that in terms of your distance from the right path. You're never more than one step off the path. It's not like you've gone 10 miles in the wrong direction and you have to turn around and come 10 miles back in this direction. But in terms of time, in terms of the outcome, it's very much like. So if you have a week of binging, it's going to take you much longer than a week to get back to where you were beforehand. So there's that turnaround time as well. How long does it take you to get back on track? And there's a third turnaround time that we want to make as short, as quick as possible. And that is doing your fast assessment. Checking in. What was going on? What was I feeling at that moment? How was I acting? What was I sensing in my body? And what was I thinking? What was the thought that I believed in that moment that led me to do this suboptimal behavior that I have decided not to do anymore? And the fast assessment is the true turnaround, because that's an embodiment of one of the WellStart mantras, turn a bad day into good data, which comes from this wonderful book called Change Anything. And the idea is, if it's just a bad day and we beat ourselves up, of course, and we keep our hand on a hot stove and it's burning, that's not good. But we don't want to just let it go either. So if you say, oh, I forgot what I was doing, great, I'm back on track now. That's half of it. The other half is to squeeze the juice from that experience so that you come up with a when-then plan for next time. As an example, when the waiter comes around with the wine list, I proactively ask for club soda and lime. When I go visit my parents and one of them says a snide comment about how overweight I am, I go for a walk. So we want to have the turnaround inform our future progress. And those are the three turnarounds. Taking our hand off the hot stove, stop beating ourselves up, stop the activity that we don't want to do. So we turn around as quickly as we can once we hear that the GPS is recalibrating and we're off route, and to make a plan based on a fast assessment for how we want to do things next time. And that's why I say that the severity of your screw-ups isn't really correlated with success on the entire journey. Because bad screw-ups can lead to very generative assessments and turnarounds. So it's almost like a rebound that you can actually recover from a screw-up and be in a better place than you were before the screw-up. Like this kinetic energy of a bounce. What is it? The coefficient of restitution. I'll throw in a little 10th grade physics for you there. How high you can bounce back up after falling. And why the frequency is only loosely correlated. Like obviously, if you're going in the wrong direction all the time, you're not making progress. But if you are going in the wrong direction a lot of the time and you're constantly course correcting, it doesn't cost you that much. And when you do the fast assessment, not only isn't a cost, it becomes a benefit. So don't fear screw-ups. Instead, fear wallowing in them. Fear turning them into another reason why you can't succeed. Instead, fear turning yourself into a victim. because you have done a very human, normal, natural, and damn it, required part of this journey. Screw-ups are not optional. They're not things you wish you could avoid. In the moment, yeah, of course. And we always try to avoid them. That's what makes them valuable. If we're just, giving in without a fight, then they're not screw-ups. Then they're intentional. So the value of the screw-up comes from the intensity of our desire not to do it, combined with our lack of skill in saying no at that moment. So it's the dynamic tension, the same as the dynamic tension between aiming for the bullseye, if we're shooting an arrow, and missing 15 feet off to the right. If we just shot it 15 feet off to the right and we didn't care where it was going, there would be no feedback. There would be no gap between desired and actual. So the gap between the desired and actual, we desperately work as hard as we can not to screw up. And once we screw up, we do our work and we learn from it, and we can actually celebrate the muscles we're growing from those ever quickening, ever faster turnaround times. So if there's any questions, I'll take them right now into comments. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in joining our next 12-week cohort, just check us out at wellstarthealth.com/program. And your homework is to improve your turnaround time. Stop the guilt, stop the action, do your fast assessment. And if you're not sure about the fast assessment, we have a section of that in our book, Josh's and my book, Sick to Fit, which you can get on Amazon, you can get on Audible. It's actually free as a digital download on Amazon Kindle. And if you have read the book and you haven't yet left a review on Amazon, what are you waiting for? We need those. Those are what help us get this message out. And since we're offering it for free, we don't make any money on it. We're just trying to spread the word. So that would help us a lot. So if you feel like being a little bit generous with your time, you can go to Amazon and leave a review and just write whatever you thought about it. So thanks for watching and have a great day.